Hello, everyone, and welcome to my once weekly show. My name is Michelle Marie, and I'm a Vedic astrologer as well as a tarot and oracle card reader. And today I am giving astrology and tarot readings. So go ahead and put those questions in the chat. Know that tippers go first. And Rachel and James, you are first and second in line. So thank you so much for getting those in ahead of time. Now, before I go into the questions for tonight, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the sky. Now, I created a video for February of 2026. I highly recommend that you check it out. It's in my channel. But overall, if February is beginning to feel a little heavier than January, you are not imagining it. We are moving through some intense energies right now, and this is not from a string of random headlines and things in the news and over exaggeration. It's literally a karmic process that has been in motion for a long time. What you're seeing unfold in the United States and globally around power, speech, borders, and accountability began quietly with the September eclipses. I have an entire playlist on big changes in the world. It's videos that I made a year and a half ago. All of those things are now coming to fruition. So if you want to check those out, I go into that. And I even go as far as 2029 in some of those videos. So, but let's just stick to February for now because that's all we can really handle. February is where the consequences are going to stop hiding because we're going to have a really big eclipse on February 17th and another one on March 3rd. And those two eclipses enact Aquarius, sidereal, and Leo. That is the collective in kings, oligarchs. So eclipses don't create the chaos. They expose systems under strain, especially secrets. So tonight I'm going to talk about what's being exposed and how to stay grounded while we all learn what's been happening behind the scenes for a while now. So I use sidereal Vedic astrology, whole sign houses. I look at long karmic arcs, not emotional headlines. So this is all based in the signs of the sky and my historical look, okay? I try to find those patterns. So since September, the United States has been under the eclipse pressure across the 3rd and the 9th houses. What does that mean? Speech versus silence, neighbors versus borders, journalism versus ideology, and truth versus belief. Now, this axis governs who controls the narrative. And February is when this pressure is going to become very visible. So power without righteousness is tyranny. And if you see it, it's time to call it out because that's kind of what these eclipses are revealing. So there's been a renewed attention to the news cycle, especially around the Epstein files and allegations involving elite protection, abuse, and a complete lack of accountability. So whether every client claimed that it's verified or not, there is a collective disturbance going on, and that itself matters astrologically and historically because we've seen these patterns before. So this reflects Mercury under the eclipse pressure, especially in this position. And in Vedic tradition, this pattern is not new. So if you've read the Ramayana, Ravana is kind of he's the bad guy of the play, and he violated sacred law by consuming sages, and he believed himself to be untouchable. He was a cannibal. Okay, so his downfall was total, and because of that, his power, his lineage, and his kingdom was erased, and a new kingdom rose from that. So in the Mahabharata, Kalmashapada, he also turned to cannibalism after violating Dharma and was cursed to lose his humanity. So whether we're talking about essay of children or even cannibalism itself, I'm preparing you guys for this, okay? These kings were violating Dharma, and they were cursed because they lost their humanity. They were given power lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And what all of the sacred texts in the past, especially when I see these yogas in the sky, say is then when these rulers, they violate the sanctity of life, karma does not need human courts to act immediately. It acts through time, exposure, collapse, and the destruction of their legacy. So if such acts are proven in our era, which a lot of the yogas in the sky are pointing to, No wealth, secrecy, or technology can override karmic law. So even if you feel, why isn't anything happening? Why aren't the courts doing something? What is going on? Especially when more information gets released, especially in and around this eclipse on the 17th. Know that truth is not destroyed by silence, but it is delayed. So there's also a lot of reports about the immigration enforcement, detention practices, deaths in custody, and these are continuing to raise alarm. Again, that's that ninth, third axis. And astrologically, this provides kind of a third house conditioning that I see throughout the historical reference. When I see these yogas in the sky, which are just, the planetary placements, law enforcement is normalized in civilian spaces, neighbors are reframed as threats, and borders are used to justify moral shortcuts. Because I've studied other countries' charts historically, especially after a Pluto return, which the United States just went through. So know that compassion without wisdom becomes bondage. So it's important that we remain diligent as citizens. And despite some of the autocracies that are rising and these hollowed institutions, that we name out any executive overreach that we see, billionaire influence over the laws, institutions weakened from within. This mirrors this Capricorn concentration that we saw in the sky in January. This is, again, it's another pattern. So know that power gained without self-control will eventually lead to destruction, and that's why this time feels a little more anxiety-ridden than others. So let's talk about concerns around censorship, because that also goes along with these eclipses. Platform manipulation, and there's a lot of distorted narratives that are continuing to grow throughout the collective as well. This is Rahu in Aquarius. Who's Rahu? He's the North Node, causes eclipses. He's going to cause the one on the 17th of this month. So if you feel overwhelmed, numbed, or confused, this is not a personal failure. This is literally just Rahu's terrain, because technology is shaping perception rather than truth in some of these circles. And know that wisdom can take root in you if you allow the agitation to end and you see this from a very calm perspective. So when society is shaken by these revelations of inhumanity, which will continue to come out, and again, I'm following this line of kings who practice cannibalism, and I'm seeing that in our own patterns in the sky. The remedy is not obsession, it's mental and moral stabilization. So one of the best Vedic remedies that you could do, especially on February 15th or during the eclipse on the 17th, is a very simple mantra. And I'll go ahead and say that for you. And you can do this 108 times. The best time to do it is between 4 and 6 a.m. Okay. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And that is a very simple mantra that you can do. Now, Shiva, he governs destruction at Arma, which is what we're seeing in the collective right now, and the containment of poison, both literal and psychological. So this is how Rahu is mastered. He can be mastered by the guru. And if we witness truth without allowing it to corrode our hearts or make us anxious, we can allow that force to take effect. Okay, so this February 17th eclipse exposed these fault lines. Speaking of fault lines, I went through another big earthquake this morning. So that's just Mother Earth also gearing up for the coming eclipses as well. And know that as we also move into the March 3rd eclipse, consequences will begin to crystallize. So tonight I'm going to be offering tarot and astrology readings, guidance by sign, and remedial measures for the March eclipse later throughout the month and especially before March, so I can prepare you guys for that energy as well. So if you want the full February forecast by sign, love, career, health, and remedies, my February astrology video is already up on the channel. And if you're not sure what your Vedic sign is, I have a free calculator on my site. So I hope that was helpful. And I want to say hello to some of you lovelies coming in the audience just before I go into your lovely questions. So, and James, you're first, Rachel, you're second, and let's see. Yes, because you are the first two tippers, and the tips are in the description. So thank you so much. I really appreciate the The support, because I put a lot of work into this. All right. The lovely Chu is here. It is lovely to see you, Chu. James, got your question. Go ahead and ask that if you'd like. My husband, Jonathan, is here. It's lovely to see you, dear. He's such a good supporter. Gigi is here. Lovely to see you. Welcome. Hello from California. And love and light to you too, Jen Bowles. Thank you so much for joining us. That is the most adorable little baby. I love that. Garnet, it is lovely to see you. Welcome. Rachel Rose, thank you. These are opals that Jonathan got me at a native jeweler. Yeah, So he's Jonathan is native. I don't know if you guys know that, but I own the jewelry store, so he really knows what to get me. I love native jewelry just in general. If it's made I love sand casting, wax, the whole thing. So thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that. The lovely Delphi is here. Oh, yes, beautiful setting. I have Mexico City behind me, all 22 million people. The lovely Venus is here. It is lovely to see you, Venus. Welcome, welcome. And okay, Gigi, I will get your question in. All right. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Amy. I will go ahead and get your question in. Okay. And let's see, from your guides, you got it, Gigi. Okay. Yeah, I'm very sorry to hear that, Amy. My heart goes out to you, sweetie. And some patience is here. It is lovely to see you. I hope you are recovering well. You have been in our daily mantras and prayers. And I'm glad that you caught the show early. It's lovely to have you here. The lovely Shem is here. It is great to see you, Shem. Welcome. And yes, I love opals. They keep me calm because the eclipse is happening on my moon. It happens every 18 years, and I'm like, I can do this. And it happens on Jonathan's moon opposite mine. So we're both going to get hit at the same time. So we are doing all of our remedies. And then what would be your Vedic sign? You can go to my website, astrologicaltarot.com. It is in the description. And I have a chart calculator. So you can go ahead and pull that up. And then you wrote your question in the PayPal. I will go ahead and look for that, James. Yes, I am an Aquarius moon, Rachel. So yeah, we're getting hit. And I'm a full moon, so my sun and my moon are going to get hit. And then Jonathan's moon is getting hit along with his node. So it's going to be a drama one for us. So it's going to be interesting. And you are so welcome. We love praying for you in the morning. I'm glad that you appreciate it. And I hope that you can feel it because we really are sending it out. And you're so welcome, Amy. My heart goes out to you, sweetie. And yep, all right, you got it, Garnet. Okay, so let me look for James's question. Okay, you found more jewelry. You're trying to sell them on platforms. The jeweler who pays around 60%. Oh, that's a lot. I felt my silver I sold him was lowball, and will I be getting good prices? Okay, well, you came to the right place because I used to be a jeweler and I used to buy and sell gold and silver. So I've got a little bit of experience here. Now, you have to understand that gold comes in different carats, and so does silver, especially if it's nickel silver or something like that. So they usually test it before they go ahead, like for 10 karat, 14 karat, like 24 karat gold is full gold. 10 karat is only partial, okay? So there could be other metals and things in there that they're taking in weight-wise. They also take into consideration the weight of the gems, things like that. But gems don't really have a lot of weight, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'll pull some cards for that in and around that, okay? Lovely to see you, Nancy. Welcome, honey. Good to see you, Samantha and Kelsey Potter. You're an Aquarian sun and moon too. Okay, if it's sidereal, you could be getting hit with the eclipse on the 17th. So be mindful of that, okay? All right. Mr. James. Not bad. So just to let everybody know, I am going with tippers first. I prefer a $5 minimum if you can. Scott taught me that. And we're going to go ahead. We're doing James' question now. Okay. This is interesting. All right, so James, I got a few questions. I have a few cards for you, and I think that they're going to help guide you to find the best deal for you. The first thing that we're going to want to do is I got the 11th house. This is the house of profits. Okay, you're going to want to go to more than one place. Get it a save, have them give you a price, and then literally take notes as you go from place to place. Okay, you don't want to just stop at one jeweler and that's it. All right. Once you do that, I got the second house. The 7th and the 11th house are called Dana houses. And Dana houses are wealth houses. It's the second house of savings, gems, jewels. There's literal gems and jewelry on this card and coins. Okay, coin dealers, jewelry dealers, metal assayers, things like that. And then the 11th house is profits. That's what the question is about. So what this tells me is that it's really important for you to go to more than one dealer, because the 11th house indicates that you can literally kind of do your homework in this area before just giving it away to one. Some jewelers will pay more for silver, especially if they sell a lot of it. Others will spend more on gold, especially if they get really great prices from their distributor. So every place is going to be different, just depending on what their market is and what their business model is. Okay. They're saying you might want to keep the sentimental stuff and make sure it goes to family, because I got the 7th house of partnerships there, and this is the marriage house. So you'll want to keep the more sentimental pieces for family and or yourself, because that does carry the energy of your ancestors on it. Okay, and then it's just a good thing to keep. Now, I did get the 9 of Wands. What does this tell me? Now, it came up upside down. This is good, but it tells me that you don't want to overexhaust yourself or turn this into kind of a negative behavior pattern. You don't want to be too on guard or too forward when it comes to trying to get a good deal. Before I left Los Estados Unidos, I sold a lot of my older jewelry and went to a few places, and I ended up with a metal assayer who gave us a good deal, and even bought some of my costume jewelry, which I thought was great. So that's kind of something. You don't want to be on guard. You want to be open, and you want to just keep your options open as you go from place to place. Okay. If you do that, I got the Queen of Pentacles. You're going to get a good deal. Okay. Know that the prices right now are okay, but you definitely want to do your homework by shopping around. Okay. Then I got the 8 of Pentacles, but it came up reversed. So what does this tell me? It's important that you don't, how do I say this? You don't procrastinate as you do this, and don't be too impatient with yourself as you go through this process. Okay, because this is the card of hard work. Okay. This also tells me that it's important for you to be patient as you go through this and not try to just get all of your money at once. All right, because when I get the 11th house and the second house, they're wanting you to put a little bit more thought into it, if that makes sense. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. The guides definitely came through regarding your jewelry, and I hope that you get the absolute best deal for you. So thank you, James. Okay. Oh my goodness, so many people are coming in. Oh, thank you for your lovely tip, Garnet. I appreciate that. Let's see. Jeremy is here. You want to get married? Well, congratulations. That's exciting. Let's see. You have an Indian gold ring, 22 karat, with an Indian saint in enamel. That's beautiful, Garnet. I love that. Which Indian saint is it? I'm wondering. And let's see. Gold ends the powers others have over you. Okay, Kelsey. And then, oh, you found an online gold calculator. Great. I'm glad that you're doing your due diligence. Now, know that the jeweler or the assayer also needs to make their profit, because rent is very expensive. Running a business is through the roof, literally. And so what a lot of people don't understand is, like, they do the calculation and they go, oh, this is how much it's worth. This is how much I should get. But that's like going to a restaurant and saying, oh, this is the cost of food right now, so this is how much you should charge me to make me a meal. Does that make sense? I hope it does. All right. So Delphi is here. So shoulder surgery. Okay, I'll go ahead and put you in. And let's see. Rossi, I'll go ahead and get your question in. I am drawing cards. Yes, Greg, go ahead and get your question in. tips get first, and then I go in order. And you have arthritis. Okay, Delphi, my heart goes out to you. I've got friends that work with their hands that are dealing with that. And I'm glad it was helpful, James. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for your help there. Okay. And Jax is here. Good to see you, Jax. Thanks for popping in to say hello. It's lovely to see you. All right. Now, Rachel, are you in the audience, dear? Because I did get your tip, and I want to make sure that you get your question answered. Okay, dear? So let me know if you're here. If you're not, I'll wait for you, and I'll just go down the line. There you are. Okay, go ahead and get your question in. I'll start pulling some cards for you. And it's just lovely to see all of you guys here today. It's been an interesting week, and I've been preparing for these eclipses. So is Jonathan, and I pray you are too. I have lots of remedial measures in the video that I made for February, so I hope you check that out. I want to make sure everybody is well prepared for what is to come, because it's going to be a big one. Okay. Yeah, this one is in Da Nishta, which is my nakshatra. It's wealth giver. And it is going to affect wealth in the future, especially as the eclipses move to the 2nd and 8th axis, and December 5th of this year and into 2027. That's when we can start seeing the banks and inheritances and things like that dealt with. Okay, Rachel, I'm still waiting for your question, sweetie. All right, Kelsey, I got your question in. Lots of questions around jewelry. Interesting. Okay. And you're welcome for the eclipse head up, Kelsey. I hope that was helpful. I do try to make sure that you guys are forewarned. Is they've been forewarned is, what is it, sweetie? The term forewarned is forearmed. Yes. Okay. All right. And then let's see. Okay, I got your question, Rachel. Thank you so much. Getting that in there. Okay. So I am not sure what my reservation is about this rooster house. I'm close to signing a lease. My feeling is that I am unsure at work and going on tour, and I'm generally still grieving. That makes complete sense, Rachel. That's preventing me from taking this place. What do the cards say about this? I'm not sure about everything. Okay, so the main thing that I got blocking you is you're still not over Ollie's death. I got the 12th house. This is the house of loss. You are focused on the loss. You are focused on you're still going through grieving, which is completely natural, especially because this was your dude. This was your best friend. Okay, so I am right there with you. When I lost Bella, it took me a long time. I mean, it never goes away, but it does take a long time to work through the grief. Okay, so I asked what was holding you back, and look what I got. I got the 3 of Swords, but it came up reversed. Okay, so this is raw mental pain, but this tells me that you're on the mend, you're healing, because you can see that the heart is getting stitched up. Know that the worst of your grief is over. Okay, it usually hurts the most, especially in the beginning, speaking from experience, but there is an end in sight for you. You need to free your emotions to a new perspective, because you are carrying those wounds from the past, and it could sabotage your ability to move into a beautiful apartment or place that can help you make a new start and a new life for yourself. Okay, so I did go to my Mahabharata Oracle, Rachel, and I got the expertise card. So this tells me that, allow yourself to ease into this before addressing whether or not you want to move or not. Now, obviously, we got great cards for it, but if you're still too sensitive to make a big move like this, you need to give yourself some time and space. Know that when you trust that inner knowledge and you trust what your body is telling you regarding grief, you can avoid some of the conflicting advice and feelings that you're going through. And know that you will find the right place when guided by timing. This is a great place. We got good cards for it, but you might not be ready yet. So you need to give yourself that space and that time. Know that you are on the mend and that spirit is looking on the other side and supporting you, but that it's important that you do give yourself space to grieve, especially if you're still dealing with this. But that is the block, is you're still carrying this around and is sabotaging your ability to move on. Okay, which no judgment for me. I totally understand grief and loss. I'm right there with you. Okay, sweetie. And if you want to read What Happens to the Soul After Death by Sivananda, I know I sent you the PDF a million times. That really helped me with the death of my a lot of friends, family, pets, things like that. Okay. So every time I go there, I like it a lot. And I'm emotional wreck. Yeah, you're going through the heartache, sweetie. You're going through the heartache. You're not fully uh, you're not fully through this, and that's understandable because he was your guy. Okay, sweetie. And he's come to you so much this week. Well, know that he'll follow you to the new place because he follows your soul. Okay, so I think it is important that you try to move through this, push through this, especially if you need to move. And this is a great place, but you also need to give yourself that space if necessary. Okay, sweetie, and my heart goes out to you. Oh my goodness. And Garnet, you are an ascending Libra, sun sign Scorpio, moon sign Aries, moon nakshatra Bharani. You have the same as Rachel. I love that. Bharani nakshatra rules the woman's womb. It's a beautiful nakshatra to have. And let's see, ascending in Libra. So that's opposite. So yeah, women in relationships are a big part of the lessons that you're learning in this birth. And you're welcome, Rachel. My heart goes out to you. Sending you lots of love, okay, honey? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and check to see if I got some more questions here. I'm going to go ahead and scroll up. I don't want to miss anybody's question. Okay, just getting a few here. All right. So, Garnet, you went ahead and tipped. Why don't you go ahead and put your question in? I'd really appreciate that. Okay. Oh, Penny. Did Penny, let's see. Thank you for letting me know, Venus. I appreciate that. Penny. I was wondering if I'm going to live now in calmer waters. Okay, I went ahead and started your question, Penny. Thank you. And then after Garnet, we have Kelsey because she also tipped. So just to let everybody know, in order after Garnet and Kelsey, I have Amy Villa, Gigi, Delphi, Rossi, Kelsey, and then Penny York. And that I'll go in order in case we get any tips. Okay. I say women as my lesson. Brilliant. Okay, there you go. Well, it rules women. So there you go, Garnet. Love that. Let's go ahead and ask your question, dear, if you'd like one. Okay, is there a soulmate I might meet this year? Oh, that's exciting stuff. Okay, I'll pull some cards on that. Know that Venus is going to be involved in the eclipse in Rahu, so February is not the time to look for her, okay? Because that can bring a lot of karma your way, my dear. That goes for everybody, because Venus was at war, went through a Gandanta in December, and then it's been at war January into February. And so not a great time to start new relationships. Just in general, and that goes for the collective because it's going to be really karmic and messy. Okay. Ooh. Interesting. I appreciate your patience as I do this. I also dropped a new course. I went ahead and put that link in the description. Okay, Garnet. Okay, so you can, but there's going to be some homework that you need to do first. Okay, Garnet. I got Pluto. This is power struggles, obsessions. It's represented by Yama, the Lord of Death. Okay, so there is some death, rebirth, and transformation that is needed for you in this area in order to find someone who is best and appropriate for your energy. Okay, after that, I got Aquarius. Aquarius tells me that you need to think outside the box when it comes to finding love and come from a new, innovative, and different perspective. Aquarians tend to be very technologically minded. They're forward thinking, they're futuristic. This might be a good combination for your energy. You know, Aries, Aquarians, Libras. You have some air in your chart and some fire, and Aquarians get along really well with this energy. But in order to attract this very innovative, vision forward soulmate, there's some homework that you need to do. Okay. The first card I got was the Knight of Cups, but it came up reversed. So this is the fear of intimacy and commitment, some irresponsibility, lack of direction, or just being emotionally blocked when it comes to relationships. This could be because of some deceit or manipulation, okay, that has happened, either between parties, one or the other. So it's really important that you address this area so that you're not moving into something too quickly, and that you are, how do I say this, really looking at things for what they are and not imagining what you would like them to be. Because this is a very romantic night, but he tends to get a little too romantic too soon, okay, when he comes up reversed. Then I got the Seven of Wands. This is defensiveness and challenge. So what this tells me is that you need to have the courage to get into a relationship, but don't put the other party on the defense, and don't be on the defense yourself. It's important to, set appropriate boundaries, but not create that level of, let's see, they're basically saying you need to develop healthy boundaries and stand your ground when it comes to relationships. And you are allowed to defend your energy, and they're allowed to defend theirs. There needs to be a balance there. So what this tells me is if you are willing to set very clear boundaries, not over romanticize the other person, you will be able to find a better partner for you moving forward. But again, they're giving you homework. That's usually what happens when there's a little bit of a block when it comes to relationships. This is why they're having you do the homework. I went to my Mahabharata Oracle Garnet, and you're saying, yes, I'm easygoing, be realistic, I know true, you're conversing, okay? Excellent. Okay. Well, this is why they're telling you to set boundaries early, not over romanticize things, really see things from a romantic perspective, a realistic rather than a romantic perspective, especially in the beginning. Because it's really good to start friendships before you go into relationships and let those cook for a while, speaking from experience. I got the trickster card. Okay, this is Shakuni. This is deception. So when Shakuni appears, truth hides behind a strategy you're not really aware of. So Shakuni mastered manipulation through his intellect and his foresight, and his power didn't lay in strength, but in psychological leverage. So he understood human weaknesses, and he exploited them. So he's reminding you that deception often wears a mask of cleverness, and that you are being warned of hidden agendas, and not all players are revealing their true intentions. So awareness will protect you from entanglement and codependency. So be attentive to any inconsistencies that you see in relationships. Look for emotional manipulation and any half-truths that are presenting themselves, because they are asking you not to over-romanticize, set those clear boundaries. And once you go through this death, rebirth, and transformation in this area, you might attract that really innovative, fun Aquarian soulmate, but you got to do your homework. Okay, sweetie? I hope that was helpful. And yes, I'm fishing any deception. Going to do my homework. Awesome. I love that, Garnet. Yay. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining and trusting me with your energy. That was fun. And you're not alone in this. I had to set a lot of boundaries myself before I attracted Jonathan. So you are not alone. It's quite common in this time that we call Kali Yuga. Okay. Okay. All right, Delphi, go figure that out. Let's see here. I also have two other links that you're welcome to use, Delphi, if you can't figure out PayPal. All right. So the lovely Kelsey, you are next. So your question is, oh, and I got your question, Die Frau. You are after Kelsey. My mother gave away my grandmother's ring to my sister-in-law and made me a necklace as a replacement, but I wanted my grandmother's ring. Why did she do that? Okay, well, I will read around the energy of the situation because I don't have her permission, but I can get an overall feel for what's going on in the dynamic because it does involve your your grandmother's ring. So why did the mother give the ring to your sister-in-law and give you the necklace? You wanted the ring. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Hmm. Okay. Okay, Kelsey. So the first card I got was Taurus. This is the house of resources, jewelry, things like that. It also rules our material wealth. And so what this tells me is that you do come from a family where this can be shared and distributed, and uh, there's a lot of resources to maintain your whole family. So that's a really good thing to have, especially in times when people are really struggling right now. I did get that your mother thought you'd like it more. I got the Wheel of Fortune. It could have had some more value, perhaps more sentimental value, things like that. This is all about divine timing. And it is also possible that it contains, because it may contain more of her energy, or it might be more sentimental, and that's the reason why she gave it to you. But her intentions were really good. Like, she really put some thought into this and to give you the necklace, and thought that it was something that you would enjoy and love. Okay. So what did I get for the overall energy in and around the exchange? I got the Eight of Pentacles. And when I picked this card up, I saw a jeweler at a bench. Okay. This is craftsmanship. It's skill, dedication. You might want to take the necklace in and maybe get a pendant made or just something done to it to make it more sentimental. Okay. Um, this is the card of the craftsman. So there might be something that you can do with this necklace in order to uh, make it truly yours. Okay. It could be like shortening it, lengthening it, adding something to it that reminds you of your grandmother. Okay. Now, no necklaces, they're not on the finger, they're on the heart. Okay, so when we wear the necklaces, they're on our Anahata chakra, and it creates more of a connection with our loved ones. Okay, so it's important that you keep that in mind, because necklaces, they do carry a lot of energy, and that we can use the gems and the metals and things like that to connect to those who have crossed, and the energy when they wore it. So I think that's a really beautiful thing. Now, the overall energy that I got in and around you receiving the necklace was, I got the gratitude card. Now, this is Kripa. When Kripa appears, appreciation will restore a lot of harmony in this situation. Now, Kripa honored those who nurtured him, and he repaid their kindness with loyalty and service. So gratitude anchored him, especially in times of chaos or uncertainty and things like that. So this card calls you to acknowledge and appreciate the gift of the necklace, and know that that gratitude that you show your mother will amplify the blessings that you get in your life and from, your family members and your friends. So express your appreciation very openly to her, and know that when you tell her that, that emotional bond will deepen through her recognizing that because she could have kept all the jewelry herself. There are family members who do that, and she chose to very carefully choose people that she thought would be benefited by these specific pieces of jewelry. So thank her, and know that goodwill returns manifold when you do things like that, and that gratitude will really improve your emotional resilience and your physical well-being. So know that thankfulness will transform into what you have, into feeling enough. Okay, so that's the overall energy that I got in and around it. She was coming from a good place when she gave it to you, and know that it came from the heart, because Taurus also rules the Anahata. And the necklaces in general are one of my favorite pieces of jewelry, because you can really feel that energy in and around your heart center. Okay, so no, she was not trying to do harm. I got the Wheel of Fortune. She thought you'd really like it. Maybe she thought it was more you, but she wasn't coming from a place of wanting to hurt your feelings or anything like that. So, yeah, okay. I hope that was helpful, honey. And oh yes, yeah, I'm glad that you like that idea. You can make it truly yours. So, okay. So our next question is Die Traumfrau 21. Is the breakup between my partner and I final? Okay, let me go ahead and do some cards on that. Thank you, Venus. Appreciate you. Okay. Okay. And I'm sorry to hear about your breakup, dear. Those are difficult. I've been through quite a few myself. Been very happily married for well over a decade now, and but it took a lot of He just brought me my tea. Isn't he the sweetest? It took a lot of trial and error before I was able to find somebody, and we were friends for years before I went, huh? Looked at him a little differently one day. I had to make the first move because he was way too much of a gentleman. Oh, it was a fun story though. So, no, things are going to get better for you, okay? Okay. Oh, yes, they're going to be okay. All right. Oh, let me see. Let me pull one of these cards for you too. Give you a good full reading. Okay. Oh, I got a lot of tarot cards for you. They are talkative. They like you. Ooh. Okay. I've got a lot of energy in and around this relationship. Okay. The first thing you need to do is know that this was a karmic ending. Be realistic about it. Shani, or Lord Saturn, would have been involved. Now, he tends to create blocks, especially karmic blocks, because he's the karmic teacher in and around, in your case, this relationship. Okay. I went through my divorce during my Saturn return. Very karmic time. I'm very thankful that he did that, because it was not the right person for me and my best development moving forward. Same for you, darling. Okay. So I went to my tarot, and the first card I got was the Eight of Cups, but it came up reversed. This is refusing to leave emotionally. You have not left this relationship emotionally. You're struggling with some separation, and there might have been some dependency there that you just need to just let it go. Let it go. Move on. It wasn't for you. Shani, the karmic teacher, saved you a lot of heartache by ending it. Okay. So I asked, what is the main thing that you could really focus on, especially moving forward? Because it's important that when you choose to walk away from this relationship emotionally, that you can open the door for something new. I got that there's a little bit of work that needs to be done. Okay. This is teamwork. This tells me that it's important for you not to enter a relationship alone, and that you bounce ideas off other people. This also tells me that you might meet someone in a joint project, or something fun that you do. Like this is the craftsmanship card. So maybe picking someone who you can work with and cooperate with on another level. Whenever I get this card, there was this show that I absolutely loved watching. It was called Escape to the Chateau. And it was Angel and her husband. What was her husband's name? Yeah. And they bought this beautiful French chateau and had children and like fixed it up together. And they had all of these things go wrong during the building of it, but they managed to like keep their heads straight and laugh through it and work together really well. So the ideal partner for you is someone who can work really well with you, especially when it comes to projects. We call this Artha Yoga in Vedic astrology. Someone who you can put something together with without getting into a fight. Okay, someone that you can cooperate with without having the drama of, well, you said you were going to do this and you said you were going to do that. You don't want that. You don't want any of that. Okay. I did get that you did not have that in the past. I got the Wheel of Fortune reversed. This is resistance to change. There's a karmic loop going on in your life where you're not really taking on somebody who you work well with. And that can bring you some bad luck because, poor decision making leads to that. You're not alone. We've all been through it. So it's stressful when you try to resist these changes that need to happen and you try to stop events from happening. Okay, so it's important to get this right side up by, again, finding someone that you really work well with something that you're passionate about, a project that you can really put your heart and your mind into. Okay. You also want to attract someone who, when they take something or when they mess up, can apologize. And there might be an apology for a deception that took place. Okay. So this is an apology for something stolen or an exposure for a lie, something like that. So there was some deception perhaps that you didn't see going on, and it was important for you to just walk away from that deception. Okay, dear? All right, so I got that you need to move on emotionally. Okay? You're not going to become a nun. If you do the work, you're going to be okay. All right? You don't want a new relationship. Okay, well, the cards are saying that if you do move on, you can open up the doors for another one. Okay, but just apologize for any mistakes made along the way, and you can do this. And if you don't want relationships right now, just give yourself the space and the time. It's important that you do that. Now, I did go to my Mahabharata oracle for you because it's important that you not get too, how do I say this? Too discouraged. Okay, I pulled the strength card. This is Bhima. When Bhima stands beside you, your raw power, that beautiful power within you, can be tempered with discipline. So when it comes to love and relationships, know that boundaries will strengthen your bonds and emotional strength will stabilize your connections. But it's important that you don't look outside of yourself for love, that you really truly love yourself first, and then you will attract that toward you. It took me a long time to do that. It takes people, time to heal from these things. So give yourself the time and the space to, I know it wasn't best for you, okay? The relationship was not for your higher good, and you are being asked to move on, and it's going to be okay. So know that your strength will be unstoppable when it's guided by purpose, especially teamwork and someone who truly appreciates you for what you can bring to the table. All right, my dear. I hope that was helpful, and my heart goes out to you as you start to emotionally release some of the stuff that came from that relationship. All right. Okay. Okay, I have a jumper down here. Let me grab it. Okay. Whew. Okay. So we're still kind of together in some way. We're going on vacation. Okay. Well, it's important that you try to emotionally separate if you want some help there. Okay, sweetie. All right. And there might be an apology on the vacation, but they are asking you to emotionally let go of some stuff. Okay. Okay. So our next lovely, and you're so welcome, Garnet. Thank you so much for the energy. I appreciate it. Okay, making sure I get all of your questions in. Hello, Mind. Welcome. So happy to have you as a new subscriber. Welcome, welcome. We are going in order of all of our questions today, so you're welcome to ask one. All right, Amy, are you in the chat? You lost your 20-year-old son on New Year's. You have a question. Okay. There were a lot of planetary wars going on, and I believe some other stuff in the sky. So you are not alone. We actually live in the hospital zone here in Mexico City, and there was a lot of people crying outside. I believe that we were brought here because we get up in the morning and we do special mantras for those who are suffering, and then we put it out toward all of the people in the hospitals in and around this area. Because both Jonathan and I used to work in hospitals, and we have a big heart for those that are left behind as people shift to a new physicality and a new body. Okay, let's see here, Amy. Yes, you're here. Okay, excellent. I am pulling some cards for you. I've got some good ones. Okay. Ooh, I got a card that kind of tells me about a little bit more about his personality. He was a go-getter. Okay. Interesting. I did not expect to pull that one. Okay. Whew. So, and I just have a question. What is your question, dear? Yes or no to what question? Because I did get some interesting cards in and around his energy for you. And then a really good book that you can read, Amy, is What Happens to the Soul After Death. Okay, it's very good. It's by Swami Sivananda. You email me, I can go ahead and send you a free PDF. It really helped me with a lot of death in a friend's family and things like that in my life. How fast he was going, very fast. I got the Knight of Swords. He's literally racing toward a motorcycle, chasing after a crow. He's a quick one. He was very fast. I was wondering if it had to do something with an accident, because this guy's about to jump on a motorcycle and just speed off. Okay, that is fast. Okay, this is the fastest knight in the tarot, and this is a younger knight. Okay, so this was his energy at the time. He was in a rush to get somewhere. Okay, I got that he received a phone call or a text. I got the third house of communications that really affected this. Okay, it caused him to go even faster, and that's what caused. They're telling me it was an accident. Okay, he went off the road into a tree. Okay, I'm so sorry, sweetie. So he might have been on his phone, because I got the third house and there's a phone on it, and he was going very fast. Okay, so he was distracted and he was moving quickly. All right. So those are the two things that I saw that caused the accident to happen. Okay, sweetie. And then I got the this is where he is now. Okay, so you can take heart in this. Okay, I got that he has already started to connect with his higher self, because I got the star card. Okay, this is illumination, peace, purification, hope, renewal, faith. He went through he was connected to spirit, and he received his full download of what he needs to work on. And he was open to healing and authenticity in more ways than he did when he was in the body. Because what I got from the overall energy in and around this was that he did not think he was going to die. He kind of thought he was invincible. Okay, I got Duradna. This is the ego card. So this card appears when unresolved desire it demands recognition. So this tells me that he's dealing with a lot of the feelings and energies that he went through in his past life, and he's working a lot with his ego on the other side and connecting with his higher self in order to remedy that, because he thought he was invincible. Okay, and that put him in a dangerous situation, but he's connecting with his higher self, who is then teaching him on the other side what he needs to learn before taking on another birth. Now, he did go on what's called the South Path. What does that mean? That means that he is getting ready to enter a new body, a new experience. He's literally just backstage changing clothes, okay? And he is going to enter into another contract that his higher self is setting him up with so that he can learn from the lessons of what the accident cost, okay? He was very ambitious because this is a very ambitious night, and literally he's running as fast as he can. It's a very fast night. So he's seeing himself from a very realistic point of view and not from this rushed, egoistic format. Okay. And he's not refusing the lessons on the other side. He's actually opening himself up to them, which tells me that even though it was some immaturity that led to his demise, that he's learning not to do that again. Okay. Oh my goodness. And my heart goes out to you too, sweetie. I'm so sorry to hear that, Amy. Now, the last card I got, I think, is for you. It's important that you remain impartial to what happened, okay? That you don't allow this to emotionally pull you in one direction or another. Take a step back from the drama of this, what caused this, and know that when you can maintain some emotional neutrality, it will restore harmony in your heart, okay? Not every battle is yours to fight, and staying true to yourself will preserve your energy and your beautiful peace. So this card is advising non-involvement, okay? Even if there's a lot of fighting, a lot of, what ifs and things like that, it's important that you practice restraint and know that he is honoring his true calling on the other side, and that decline any roles or conflicts that are outside of your expertise, and you focus on your healing at this time, because that's the most important thing. Now, you can also find grounding through nature in this card if you like to garden, if you like to put your hands in the dirt, if you like to grow things. Oh my gosh, they're telling me, okay, the tree that he ran into, they want you to plant a flower and set up a little memorial for him in that area. So go to, when the weather gets a little better, you can go to the garden center and pick out a flower that you think he would like, plant it in that area, say a prayer. If he got cremated or anything like that, you can spread some of his ashes on there, put his energy there, and that will help with the healing process. But his spirit will really appreciate that on the other side, because that will restore some of the balance, and you'll be able to kind of close some chapters there. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. I'm sorry, I got a little emotional when I saw that because I could feel the gratitude from the other side. So my heart goes out to you, and that's a way that you can memorialize him on this side. Okay, sweetie? Ooh. And also create some closure in your heart space by creating beauty in and around the area that his soul passed. Okay, sweetie? And it was very quick. So he didn't feel a lot of pain. Okay. Oh, my heart goes out to you, honey. Wow. Okay, Tony, welcome, honey. And just Jody, welcome from South Wales. Good to see you. Okay, so let's see. We have the lovely, let's see here. Who is next? Gigi is next. Okay. All right, Miss Gigi. Card reading message from your guides. You got it, girl. All right. Okay. And thank you, everyone, for coming in. It is lovely to see you. All right. You got some interesting things coming your way, Gigi. I love this. Okay, thanks for checking in. I felt you in the audience. It's weird that like sometimes that happens. I didn't ask because I was like, oh yeah, Gigi's here. Interesting. Who can help her, guys? Who can help Miss Gigi? Okay. Okay. So The main energy I got in and around you, Miss Chi-Chi, was the first card I got was Pisces. This is the house of spirituality. So this tells me that there is a spiritual experience that you're being asked to step into to develop either your intuition, a new gift, tapping into something. Now, if you're taking a class or getting involved in something, it's fully supported, because whenever I pull Pisces, it's like, okay, that's what I see going on. Then I got the third house of communications, spirit communications. So I'm not really sure if you're trying to do some kind of work with spirit so that you can open up the channels for your guides and do some work there, but they're like, pick up the phone, honey, we're right here. So he said, message from my guides. They're ready on the other side to give you some messages. Okay, you might want to do some spiritual practices in the morning. Jonathan and I do what's called japa and kirtan, which is a series of mantras that we do for the day that are attached to my practice and his yogic practice as well. We follow that with by reading the Gita or other spiritual texts written by our guru, and we actually reflect and talk about it. And then we go into what's called pranayama and Vastrika, which are breathing exercises, which prepares us for meditation. And then we set in meditation, and that gives us a lot of our best answers. And I also do breathing exercises and mudras during meditation, depending on how I want to tap in. So they're open. The reason why I said doing a practice is I got Virgo. Virgo is the practical application of using yogic principles, breathing techniques, mantra, mudras, all of those beautiful things to get in touch with spirit. They're like, start studying this, because this is a very practical earthy sign, okay? And you would love to do it, share. Okay, excellent. So I do give classes on this. I have a class available right now you're welcome to take. But you can look up some of the things I just told you, and I can give you a mantra too at the end of this reading. The reason why you might be feeling a little stuck, like it's not really working out, is I got the 10 of Wands, but it came up reversed. So this tells me that there's some release or delegation that needs to happen. You're not seeing the results of your hard work, and you might be wasting your energy a little bit, because it's really important that you take on an actual disciplined practice so that you can really tap into those beautiful guides, because they are literally saying, pick up the phone. Okay, they're waiting for you. Now, once you do that, I got a really good card from the Mahabharata Oracle for you. This is the Infinity card. What does this tell me? This tells me that when sacred, the Shankha sounds, which are from the conch here, a sacred unfolding or beginning can unfold. Okay, so the conch shell represents beginnings and endings. It echoes throughout the cycles of creation. In its spiral form, it symbolizes eternity and purity and divine sound. So this tells me a mantra might be good for you. I can go ahead and give you one. Which mantra intuitively are you getting, Jonathan? Because he gave me my mantra. He's really good at this. Like, for Gigi. Do you think Gayatri would be too much for her? Okay, that's a long one. So something simple like Ganesha, Shiva, Kali. Shiva. I got Shiva too. Okay. I'm going to give you a very simple mantra that you can say to Lord Shiva. He is the god of the yogis, and what he does is he destroys Tamas ignorance, and he can open up the door and help you erase some of that karma as you come in and start speaking to your guides, okay? Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And you can do that 108 times via Amala, best said 4 to 6 in the morning. That is the simplest mantra that I have for him. There's a lot more, but that's a good place to start. Okay, so when you wake up in the morning, as you do that, you can imagine some of your karma being washed away as you invite some of this beautiful energy in. And mantra, breathwork, and sound healing will bring renewal into your life. Okay, so getting started with that might be something fun and exciting that you can do. Okay, and I actually have a bunch of courses and mantras and things like this also on my YouTube page. It's under Vedic remedies and courses, so you can check those out as well. I give a lot of mantras, a lot of things that you can do to add to your spiritual practice, and those are free, my dear. Okay. Okay, so I'm excited for this new beginning for you. And Yeah, you're welcome. And it's Shiva, Lord Shiva. I hope that you enjoy that. And then Opala Cure, you can ask a question. I am going in order. So just know that. Okay. All right. Take care, just Jody. Thank you for joining us, dear. Okay. And thank you for reminding people to like Tony. I appreciate that. Oh, and you do meditation. You're from India. That's wonderful. Okay. Well, Shiva's all about that third eye. So is Kali Deb. So I love that for you. Okay. All right. Job opportunities. Salama. Okay. I'll go ahead and get your question in. Okay. Just Jody. I think you just left. So I'm not going to put your question in there because you're leaving. Okay. Oh, and thank you, Nancy. Sending you lots of love, honey. We do a special we do Mahana Mrityunjaya for you in the morning. So, okay. So the next lovely question is Delphi. Are you still here, dear? Miss Delphi? Delphi. And then after Delphi, we have Rasi, if you're here. Okay. Delphi is here. Okay. And Selma, I have you in the chat, but no, but there's a few people in front of you. Okay, honey? Okay. So, Miss Delphi, going to have shoulder surgery on the 26th of this month. Okay. 5-4. Okay. Difficult or normal recovery. Okay. I'll look into that for you. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Delphi, I'm getting that there might be some family things going on in your life that you might need to address, especially before going into the surgery. Okay. So how many people have you told in your life about this surgery? Because I'm getting some really interesting cards here. The first card I got was Gemini. This is my information card. This is involving other people in the dialogue of what's to come. Okay, so Gemini is communicating what fluctuations are going to be coming your way. Gemini also rules the arms and the hands, things like that. So it's important that you communicate with people in and around your environment and let them know what's going on. Okay. I did get the 10 of Wands. This tells me that you're carrying some burdens that are not yours. Okay. It's caused some things like an energetic overload, and that's what led to the injury in the first place. There's some misplaced responsibility going on in your life. Every time we have an injury, it's related to something karmic that we're overlooking and that we need to address. So it's important that you work on that beautiful root chakra of yours, and you don't allow yourself to be overburdened by this, because you've taken on a lot of excess responsibility in your life, and it led to injury. Okay, so a lot of overwork, a lot of exhaustion, burnout, things like that. So burdened energy, that's what caused this in the start from the beginning. I asked where that burden was coming from. I got the 10 of Pentacles, but it came up reversed. This is my family card, but when it comes up reversed, it tells me that there's some imbalances going on there. Okay, so it's important that if there's some instability as far as responsibility within the family, if you're overwhelmed with a lot of, like, whether it's parental responsibility, issues with family in general, finances, fear of unknown, a lot of stuff on you, that you start to delegate some of those things and do your own homework and let them do theirs. it's important that when you're dealing with a legacy, that there's a lot of communication and structure there, so that not all of this falls on one person. Okay. Um, so another thing that I'm getting from this overall energy is that you might need somebody to drive you around and help you out with the daily tasks. So I got the Chariot reversed. So this is, again, this is a burnout card, and it tells me that this comes out when life seems a little uncontrollable and you're kind of unable to keep things at bay. And you could lose sight of important goals because you're heavily burdened. Okay, so um, it's important that you stay organized, that you delegate some of those responsibilities, that you communicate with others what you need, and that you may even need some help driving, especially to and from surgery and things like that, because you're not going to be able to do some of those things that you were able to do in the past as you go through this. Okay, especially when it comes to your recovery. So I hope that was helpful. And some patient says, I recently had shoulder surgery and had no idea what recovery would be like. Yeah, I was shocked to see how quick the recovery was and how much progress was made in a short time. Yay, well, we did get the Knight of Wands for you. And I said, it's coming quick. So that is awesome, some patients. I love that. Oh, my goodness. And that tells me you have patience because you're having a really good attitude about it. Okay, well, I hope that was helpful. And thank you so much for your donation, Gigi. I really appreciate that. I'm very grateful. Thank you, dear. Okay. And you said if you've never had soldier surgery, it could be amazing how much you can do after a month. Okay, excellent. You put a shower puff in each sink so that you can wash your hands. Okay, so you've got someone in the audience helping you. Look at that. I love that. Thank you so much. And then my sons and my granddaughters and my son are going to be doing the driving. Excellent. Yeah, it's important that you delegate the responsibilities and you do not take this all on your own. But your hard work will pay off, especially in physical therapy. But it's important that you accept help from others. And I think that's why they're having you do this. Okay. And then, keep an applesauce pouch next to your bed for pain meds at night if needed. Oh, I love that. That's excellent. Okay. And Tony, yes, I am a Cancer sun. I have a South Node and Jupiter in Scorpio. I have a Cancer Mercury, and both my South Node and other, they go into my I have a South, it's a yoga that forms in my chart that goes into Pisces. So I got a lot of water. So, okay, Izzy, I'll see if we can get to your question there. And thank you for helping some patients. That was so sweet of you. Okay. Miss Izzy, I got your question in. Thank you, Venus, for the arrows. I appreciate that. So, Delphi, lots of love to you as you recover, dear. Rassi, are you in the audience? Okay, and then Penny York, are you in the audience? You're the next two. Got to be here, please. Okay. Rassi is here. Excellent. Thank you for checking in, dear. I pulled 10 charts from the E list. All had Mars, Uranus contacts, mostly squares. Is there a correlation? Well, I can tell you what's going on right now. I'm guessing you're saying the Epstein list, okay? And you're saying that these are people that have that in their chart. I did do a little bit of research on this too. What a lot of these people have in common is, honey, can you get me my nakshatra cards? Is they have planets that Saturn is either going over right now, or they have nakshatras that are getting eclipsed, especially the Magas. The Magas are the kings. That's like J.D. Vance, Donald Trump. No, another Leo is Elon Musk, Leo Moon, things like that. So Bill Gates has got Uttara Bhadra, who Saturn is sitting right on top of right now. It's called Sadhisati on his moon. And that's when karmic retribution comes due. So these are people that have a lot of powerful yogas in their chart, and they've been given a lot of power, like that power. And if they misuse it, they have to, of course, pay back that karma. Now, when you look at a Mars Uranus contact, what that Mars does is, I don't know what contact means, but mostly squares. Okay, so you're talking about transits. What that does is Uranus is a lightning planet. He kind of represents Indra. He's a king. And Mars is a warrior. So what that does is it can cause a lot of energy when it comes to trying to satiate their desires and becoming overly sensual when it comes to what they need. Now, but the main thing that I found is that the eclipses are, the South Node is going to be in the sign of Kings. And I went into this a little bit in February in my other videos as well. And the North Node is in the sign of Sidereal Aquarius, which is the collective. So this is the collective versus Kings. Okay, and who's going to control the narrative moving forward? So some people will be held accountable, some won't. I think the reason why certain names are redacted in the Epstein files is because they paid for them to get redacted. And it took them so long to release them because there was money exchanging behind the scenes. Because if you think about it, what do they care more than anything about? Money, trophies, gold, things like that. So it's interesting that you can tell the people who didn't pay up because their names are all over the Epstein files. The people who did pay up were magically redacted. So there's that going on. But know that even if they were redacted, they will still pay back the karma because you can't avoid that. That's just the way this plane works. Okay. So I'd love to hear more of your study, but that is an interesting correlation. You're welcome. Okay. Let's see here. And I'm glad you're not afraid of surgeries, Delphi. That's awesome. Must have a strong Mars. I love that. Okay, so is Penny here? I did not see you check in, dear. Penny, Penny. And then after Penny, we have Opel Cure 4491. You want to go ahead, you are after that. Oh, you cut your hair short. Yay, you're in the club. Yay. My hair used to be down to my waist. So, and I had a little fun with it. So I like to, curl it and have fun with it and kind of do kind of a retro fun Marilyn look. It's been fun to play with. So she has the same ascendant as I do. So I'm tapping into that energy with the hair, the kind of vintage look. So you can have a lot of fun with short hair. A lot of fun things that you can do with it. I saw a woman the other day and she had really, really short hair and she had dyed it platinum. Oh, it looked amazing. So, oh, sweetie, did you bring the nakshatra cards? You couldn't find it? Okay, that's okay. Okay. No, that's the Gita deck. That's okay. All right. And Salama is here. Great. Okay. So I'm not seeing Penny or Apuro. So Salama, you are next. And then we have Izzy. Okay. May I have a reading on a job opportunity in the coming times? I've been jobless since October. Okay, same question. You got it. Now, I hope that you've been doing your homework since we talked last time, because if you have, I'm going to get different cards. If you haven't, I'm going to get the same cards. And so I'm just warning you not to get discouraged, okay? If you do your homework, you can open up those beautiful doors for spirit to invite and bring a new job in, okay? Oh, some patients, yeah. Well, I had multiple surgeries on my chest, and I could not raise my arms or do pull-ups or anything for a year and a half because I had a reconstruction. So it's a lot. Yeah, it's amazing, especially when you have anything in the chest, armpit, shoulder area. You can't brush your hair, you can't really do a lot of things. So that was one of my biggest obstacles was doing my hair. So okay. You did your homework, Salama. Oh, that's wonderful. I love to hear that. Yay. Okay, so let me pull some cards for you. Okay. Now, you might want to look to see where Saturn is in your chart. If he's transiting your 10th house, there could be a block there. So that's something to look into. Or he could be aspecting that because he aspects, let's see, 3rd, 7th, and 9th from himself, in addition to the house that he's in. Okay, those are his aspects. And Shani is the karmic teacher, and he can create blocks. Okay. What do we have for upcoming job? Mhm. Okay, so I got some interesting cards for you. They have you focused in an area that you might not be totally focused in right now. The reason I bring that up is because it doesn't really have a lot to do with a job. So I'm going to bring that to your attention. Okay, dear. The first card I got was Saturn. That's why I asked you, where's Saturn in your chart? If he's in your 10th house aspect in your 4th house of family, that's going to create some blocks. Okay. So this could be a blocked area because the karmic teacher is trying to bring something to your attention. He could also be aspecting that house in your chart if he's a third from it as well, or on one of the major lords in your chart. There's a lot of things that you can do to remedy this, but what he wants you to do, and I think this is important, is address something that's going on in your family. I got the 10 of Pentacles, but it came up reversed. This is legacy beyond ego. There's some material instability going on there. You could be overwhelmed with a lot of parental responsibility. Issues with family in general need to be addressed before this window can open for you. It's causing issues with finances and a fear of the unknown. Okay, so you don't want to stay in a job only for the money because you feel like you are the root or the main person responsible for keeping your family going. That does fall on a lot of women. But it's important that you do not take this all on yourself and that you rely on others to help you because we want to get this right side up. Okay, this tells me that there's a little too much responsibility or something going on there. Okay. Now, the second card I got, I think is going to kind of help you find that direction, that rootedness, that to step into something that will be a little more, how do I say this, balanced for you. Okay, let's see what you're saying here. That is me. Okay. Okay. So I got the sacrifice card. Okay. So what does this tell me? This tells me that this is Bhishma, and when he appears, selflessness can guide the path forward because he had a vow and that defined his destiny. So through restraint and service, he helped upheld really noble ideals beyond his personal desires. So this indicates that you need to let go of short-term gains when it comes to your career for sustainable success. And you want to build something long lasting. And you need to involve other people in the family because there is an imbalance there. Sacrifice will clear the way for growth once this opens up. So this could be a necessary sacrifice for a higher purpose, something like that. But what Shani is having you do is address this area before and put some sacrifice into this area before he opens the door for a new career. Okay, once you do that, I can see some things opening up for you. Okay, so that's the main energy in and around this that I hope helps. Okay. Okay. Oh, and Tony, you are a Capricorn, Libra, Moon, Scorpio rising. Very cool. I wonder if that's Vedic or Western. I have a Vedic calendar calculator on my site. So yeah, I always wonder about that. And you are welcome, Salama. Thank you so much for trusting us with your energy today, dear. Okay, Miss Izzy, are you here? Check in, Izzy. And then do you want me to ask if your ex is coming back or you're going to be on a new path for love? Which one, dear? Okay, you're here. Which one would you like me to answer? The first one or the second one? I'm guessing the second one because you asked that second. Okay, you got it, girl. Okay. Oh my goodness. Thank you for your help in the chat. Yeah, not a Virgo, LOL. Oh, okay. Okay, Tony. Oh gosh, yeah. I married a triple Sagittarius. I got a lot of water in my chart and he's got a lot of fire. We're very different, but we find a way to make it work. I'm very intuitive, emotional, homebody, but I'm very how do I say this? Like not a homemaker, but like I can turn any place into kind of a sanctuary. That's the Cancer placements. And then the Pisces is like a spiritual sanctuary, and then the Scorpio is like the mystical atmosphere is very water in our house. But we live in a volcanic crater in Mexico City. Like you dig up any dirt around here, you get volcanic rock. So it's a very fiery place to live, but our little apartment is it's very, very spiritually driven. I turn any place into a home, even an Airbnb. That's the thing about having strong water placements and mystic placements and things like that. I have a suitcase just for our altar. So he's got that guru Sagittarian energy, and then I've got the mystic water energy in my chart. It works out. So, and I've got that Taurus rising, so I'm the practical one when it comes to finances and things like that, keeping a budget, doing all that. Okay, I am getting some really interesting cards in and around this for you, dear Izzy. So you said Venus, Scorpio, Gemini, Moon, Virgo, rising. Okay, so Venus and Scorpio, Gemini, Moon, and Virgo rising. Okay, that's pretty balanced, actually. Venus and Scorpio is interesting because I got 8th house, which is ruled by Scorpio. So you're going through a lot of transformation here. That also tells me that you're dealing with a lot of secrets in your relationships, taboo things, hidden things, but you can also be very sexually open and seek spiritual partnerships as well. Gemini Moon tells me that you can be a little more, fickle and things like that, and open-minded when it comes to your emotion. That's because you can see things from more than one perspective, which is good. But it's important that you do make that decision and not let those things block you from vacillating too much. Okay. Wow, this is all over the place. Okay. So what I got was, this is a very romantic relationship because I got the 5th house. This is also the house of children, fun, really enjoying each other's company. So I'm not sensually open. Interesting. Well, Venus Scorpio, I don't know if this is your Western or your Vedic sign, but it does tend to be secretive. So you could be embodying some of that in private as well. So if your Vedic is in Libra, that's actually a really good placement because Venus is exalted there and happy in his own house. Excuse me, he's in his own house there and very happy, Shukra Devi. Yeah. So anyways, I got 5th house. So that tells me this is, childhood, it's fun, it's things like that. It's also romance, making art. So there was some romance there. I like seeing romance and fun in a relationship. That's good. But then I got the 8th house. This is a very mysterious house. It's also the house of hidden things, the taboo, life, death, and rebirth. A lot of really like Plutonian death-like energy. So there's a balance that needs to happen in your relationship regarding fun and romance and art and playfulness and childlike, yay. And this really deep, intense 8th house life and death, spiritual, karmic, woe energy. Okay. So there needs there's you can be both, but there is a balance that needs to happen there. Why do I mention that there's a balance? Well, the reason is because I got the Wheel of Fortune, but it came up reversed. So this tells me that this is not necessarily the best time the timing is not good for you to get back with your ex right now. Okay. It's reverse tells me that intervening too soon will delay their evolution and the things that they need to learn after the separation. Okay. It'll interfere with karma and and they'll resist some of the natural lessons that they're supposed to learn from what they learned from you and vice versa. Okay. So timing is key, not now. Okay. I did ask what was coming your way, especially if you find a way to balance out having fun and like allowing this really steep spiritual, serious energy, like life, death, kind of karmic energy in your relationships. If you're able to find this balance, I asked what that could look like for you. And I got the 4 wands. This is the marriage card. Okay, so this is all about appreciation, finding equilibrium in this area, building a foundation and seeking more stability, learning to have fun, but be serious at the same time. If you find harmony in this area, this will bring forth a marriage for you. Okay, but right now, it's not the right time to get back together with your ex, and this is not necessarily them. It could be someone else after you do your homework, because there are over 8 billion people on earth, my dear, and we can all learn something from each other. But they want you to do that inner work first. Oh, he's in Aries. Okay. Well, Aries and Gemini, they do tend to get along pretty well. Um, let's see, because that's where your moon is. Oh, you're wondering if he's coming back. Not right now. The timing is not great. It could happen, but you both have a lot of work to do karmically before you can, because you don't want to get back together only to break up again. You were supposed to learn something from each other. And if you learn it and you're able to balance out those two areas that I brought up, children and, I mean, I don't know, did one of you want children and the other person didn't? That could also be a factor. Yeah, Gems and Sag, that you guys are each other's marriage houses because they're 180 degrees apart. My husband's moon is Leo, mine's in Aquarius. So we have that as well. So there is, you guys are looking right at each other. So marriage is possible, but a lot of work needs to be done before you're able to kind of figure out something that works for the two of you. You can't have kids. Okay, that's why they brought up kids. Does he want kids? Is that important to him? Something to ask. It's kind of a big deal. Like my husband knew at the very beginning of our relationship, no children. So, and he didn't want any either. That works out for us very well. So, obviously obviously was open, but not physical. It's too many people on earth for us to be adding more to it. So he has kids. Okay. So that's the main thing that they're showing me. Okay. You got to figure out what was going on with the children and the kids, because that was a block, caused a lot of, death, rebirth, transformative events. His kids are grown. It doesn't matter. It just depends on, developing this area. This is also the house of romance and fun. Okay. And it was affected in some way, and that there needs to be some balance there. Okay, Miss Izzy. So my dear, I hope that was helpful. I do wish you the best. It is possible, but not right now. The timing is not good, especially with Venus. Venus is going to be exactly conjunct the North Node during the eclipse on the 17th. You do not want to start new relationships or be calling your ex during that time. Drama. Okay. And that goes for everybody. Okay. So I have my ascendant is Venus. And so I'm watching my health. I'm watching what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep things, calm in our apartments, doing all of our remedies and stuff. So, and I'll be releasing more videos. Definitely check out my February video as well, guys. Okay. Well, I got through all of the questions. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. That was a lot of fun. I am here every single Monday at 5 o'clock Pacific. 5 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Central, and 8 o'clock Eastern every single Monday. I also have a course available that you guys are welcome to check out. It's only $15 a class, guys, and it's really good. I go into spiritual gifts, karmic lessons. I look at your charts. And in Vedic astrology, you have more than one chart. You have several charts. We analyze your karma. We just find out who you are as a soul and what you can do to get on track. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And so thank you so much for joining me. Oh, Divine Timing, good to see you. Yeah, we're just closing out. Like I just got through all of the questions. So, yeah, guys. So I really hope that was helpful. And Divine Timing. Let's see. Where do I know you? Oh, it's Rhoda. It's Rhoda. Okay. If you want to ask a quick question, you're welcome to. But yeah, and then I do need to close out. But yeah, do check out that course. It's really good. I'm actually really excited to teach on it if I get enough students on board. So it starts April 4th, so you have lots of time to plan. And so You'll come back next week. Okay, sounds good, Rhoda. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. So I want to send you all tons of love. Venus, thank you for being the mod with the most. You are fabulous. I really appreciate your help. And I just want to send you all, tons of love and light. Definitely check me out, astrologicaltarot.com. I've got a lot of offerings there. You can learn more about me. I also did an entire new tab of courses in Vedic remedies on my channel, totally free. If you liked any of the resources that I shared tonight, go ahead and email me. I'll send you free PDFs, things like that, connect you to the videos that are good for you. Again, free. So I try to provide as much information as I can for you to help you through these times. So thank you, Venus. Yes, you were wonderful. So I just want to say Om Shanti, Om Peace, Om Love, and I will see you next week. We will be having Helen Irish Granny on, so that's going to be a lot of fun to read with her. Take care, everyone.
Sacred knowledge from the stars. Vedic truth heals ancient scars. Mantras clear the karmic way, bringing light to guide each day. Let the planets show their signs as the cards and stars combine. Ancient wisdom flows through